Hey Frag fam, what is going on? I hope you guys are all doing well today. Elliot here, welcome back to the Fragrance Well. So for today's video, we're gonna do my Q3 wrap up of what I've added to my collection here in the year of 2025. It's actually not the end of the third quarter yet as of me shooting the video, but there's 6 days left as of me shooting this, and I'm not gonna get in another fragrance by the time it would make sense to do this video. So we're just gonna go ahead and wrap up what I've got right now. Got 11 additions to the collection as of the end of Q3 since Q2. I'll do an entire wrap up at the end of the year. And some of these are gifted, some of these are purchased. So there's a mixture, and of course I'll point out which are which. And one of these is actually gonna be an unboxing. I actually haven't opened the fragrance yet. We'll do that one last. We'll keep everything pretty brief. I'm just gonna go over real quickly what the fragrance is. And there's no ranking, but I will reveal them in the order I have bought them or acquired them. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get right into it. Before we do, as always, please remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you do like the content, and hit that bell icon, enable notifications so you can be notified when I upload new videos. And of course, I will leave links to the fragrances in the description below if they're available. Let's get into it. All right, guys, first one's gonna be coming from Nishane. This is Ambra Calabria. Nishane, Ambra Calabria. And with this fragrance here, this is one that, I could have bought a long time ago, to be honest. When I first smelled this, I just thought I was like, I didn't really understand it. This was early on in my fragrance journey. Didn't really understand this scent. But learning more about it as time went along, I'm like, that's probably a fragrance I would really like. Turns out it was. And it smells great, and it's like a perfect scent for Florida. I gotta have a lot of fragrances where it's like super easy to wear with the Florida weather. A warm weather amber scent is how I perceive this to be. It kind of has this stevia sweet leaf kind of smell, so there's green notes in here. There's a little bit of spice also, and it's a very light but enjoyable and noticeable amber accord. That is just awesome. Not necessarily the most hyped fragrance from Nishane, but one that kind of has a good cult following. So a great addition to my collection. Once again, from Nishane, this is Ambra Calabria. All right, next one's coming from Fragrance Du Bois. This is London Spice. Fragrance Du Bois, London Spice. Now, I said I wasn't ranking these, and I'm not, but I will say that this is definitely one of my favorite additions for the entire year so far. When I kind of do a complete overview at the end of the year, this one will be at the top for sure. This is a spicy fragrance, definitely as the name does suggest, so it's not misleading in that regard. But you also got this freshness that's very lemony to me. Great use of lavender in this fragrance, as well as kind of a spearmint kind of thing going on. Very strong on the cardamom. It's a very rich and dense cardamom, which I don't come across. I feel like I don't come across that often in fragrances. Usually cardamom, a little bit more of the powdery warm spice characteristic that we're used to, or the green cardamom, which is a little bit tamed down, doesn't have as much of the freshness. This one just almost feels like a cardamom syrup, and a really nice cedar wood like woodiness to the scent. Super masculine, very, very classy. I'm a huge fan of fragrances like this. These are the fragrances I would often throw into that signature scent category. So I appreciate stuff like this. And this one sticks out in my collection as being a style of fragrance, or maybe just a composition of a fragrance that I do not have. So I appreciate adding fragrances like this. Once again, from Fragrance Du Bois, this is London Spice. All right, this one's coming from Filippo Sorcinelli. This is going to be Opus 1144. Filippo Sorcinelli, Opus 1144. Similar to London Spice, this one's going to be at the top of the list in terms of my complete breakdown of additions to my collection at the end of the year. It's going to be. This one has captivated me ever since I got my nose on it. My local niche perfumery, La Jetée Perfumery, the main salesperson there, introduced me to this house because it was one of their newer houses they had gotten in. And I smelled this one, and I'm just like, this one, I can't get enough of it. It is truly intoxicating for me. I'm not saying everybody else is gonna have that reaction to it, but I love it. The house in general does a lot of resinous and incense dominant fragrances, which I very much like. And this one is incensey, it's resinous, it's also kind of sandy, woody, it's earthy, it's got some sweetness to it, it has kind of a fresh, spicy thing going on. It's quite powdery as well, but it doesn't smell like baby powder, by the way. It's just powdery in texture. But to me, the fragrance is awesome. It lasts a long time if that's something you care about. I appreciate that about the scent, but that's not why I like the scent. And it's just got a smell that I just frankly can't get enough of. So once again, from Filippo Sorcinelli, this is Opus 1144. All right, these next two fragrances are going to be coming from Fulton and Rourke. The first one is going to be Calle Ocho. Fulton and Rourke, Calle Ocho. So these two fragrances were sent to me by the brand along with an extensive discovery kit, which I did a full video breakdown of all of them, and what was easily my longest video upload ever. I think the video was like 40 minutes. I tried to make it as short as I could, but I mean, it was like almost 15, 18 fragrances. It was a lot of fragrances featured, so I had a lot to get to, and then I had to get over the full bottle versions. So this one here is their most popular one. This one is spicy, rich and sweet, kind of boozy. It's warm. It's like a quintessential, attractive, compliment-getting fall fragrance that, to my nose, pretty much smells like angel share. This smells like their take on an angel share. I still need to do like an A/B wearing where I spray one on one hand, spray one on the other hand to see if I can pick out the differences. I do think this one has a little bit less of that nutty smokiness that angel share has, but it essentially smells like angel share. So it's an alternative to it. Is it cheaper? Well, I don't know. How much is angel share going for at full retail right now? I don't know. And I don't know if you can get these discounted. But at the end of the day, look, it smells great. This would be a great wear for anybody looking for a spicy, sweet, attractive smelling, and from what I can perceive, long lasting fragrance that's great for the cooler weather. So got no problem with it for that. So once again, from Fulton and Rourke, this is Calle Ocho. All right, this one also coming from Fulton and Rourke, and yes, this one was also sent to me. This is Highway 190. Fulton and Rourke Highway 190. They asked me what two full bottles they wanted to send me. I told them send me your most popular ones because I don't know what you guys have. This one, I guess, is their second most popular one. To me, it's pretty obvious why this one is like the second most popular. It kind of has a little bit of that Baccarat vibe to it. There's saffron in this. It's saffron. It's a little bit spicy. It's fresh. Kind of has a little bit of an aquatic touch to it. It's quite woody and a little bit dry as well. It's using characteristics that are definitely present in a lot of popular fragrances. When I first did the breakdown, I was saying, yeah, it kind of smells like Baccarat to me. But then I realized it's less Baccarat and a little bit more of that Halton from Parfums de Marly / Whittian's Liwa kind of thing going on. Adjacent to Oud for Greatness, but not quite Oud for Greatness. Because Oud for Greatness, to me, took some inspiration from Whittian and Liwa and then kind of made its own thing. But anyway, it's kind of walking that vein. A little bit of Baccarat, a little bit of Oud for Greatness, and then in their own version of the fragrance that basically comes together to smell like Highway 190. Another great scent that easily can get you a bunch of compliments, can be a great wear kind of year round. So that's what this scent is. So once again, from Fulton and Rourke, this is Highway 190. All right, back to bottles that I paid for. This one is coming from Day 3 Fragrances, and this is Desert Rain. Day 3 Fragrances, Desert Rain. You know what? I didn't even think about it as I was kind of, looking at what fragrances I had purchased over the last quarter to put this list together. This may be one of my best quarters ever in terms of just outstanding fragrance purchases, because this too is an excellent fragrance. And by the way, this is a 2025 release, and I think it's going to be one of the best ones from the year, especially coming from indie houses. But hold the phone on that. I've got a ton of newer releases coming in the form of samples. They should all be here by next week, and some of them are going to influence what my next fragrance purchase is. But we'll get to that when we get to it. Nevertheless, this one here, greatest release from Day 3 Fragrances in my opinion, in terms of being mass appealing, compliment getting scent, all day wearing fragrance. It's spicy, it's fresh, it's clean. It's got this kind of sandy, woody vibe. It's got this rain accord in it that does make me think of rain. When I think of the smell of rain coming, kind of rolling in, there's this kind of a smell in the air you can get when it's going to rain. And then there's that smell when it first starts raining, depending on what the ground is you're around. When it starts raining, the smell kind of changes. This one has a smell of like sandier areas. And man, it's just an awesome fragrance. So, that's more so the artistic side. Beyond that, this is just a fragrance any guy can rock and will have success wearing it. excellent fragrance release. So once again, from Day 3 Fragrances, this is Desert Rain. All right, this next one's going to be coming from Creed, and this is Oud Zarian. Creed Oud Zarian. And by the way, I'm sure some people are wondering, since this is a very recent release and very expensive, I paid for this. I didn't pay full retail though. There were some discounters who got it early and had it at a price I was okay with. So don't think I got sent this. But this fragrance really captivated me. It stunned me when I got my sample of it and checked it out. I was completely blown away by it. I mean, I thought it would be cool. I didn't think I would love it the way I do, and I do. What really blows me away is how powerful this fragrance is. You know, Creed is not overly known for having super powerful scents. Well, this one checks that box. They got one. Oud Rose spice fragrance, a lot of heavy licorice fragrance in here, which is kind of the thing that either is an okay for some people and a complete turn off for others. I get it. Licorice is a pretty, polarizing thing in general. This one also makes use of clove and cinnamon like spice, a very rich rose in here. You definitely get oudy characteristics. The third time I wore this is when I really noticed the oud like characteristics. Before I could tell there was oud there, but I couldn't really pick up on the exact characteristics of it. Now I do, and it's present in here, and also just woody in general. If you like strong, spicy Oud Rose fragrances, this is one that just kind of checks that box. I personally haven't come across anything else that smells quite like this one, because Oud Rose can get very redundant. So far, this one is unique to me, but maybe to others not so much. But this is an excellent addition to my collection. Very happy with this purchase. Once again, from Creed, this is Oud Zarian. All right, this next one is coming from YSL. Definitely not a new release at all. Matter of fact, it's older than I am. This is Kouros. YSL Yves Saint Laurent Kouros. Okay, so the very reason I even purchased this fragrance is something I've been wanting to do for a while, is purchase a lot of these classically masculine fragrances from generations before me, from the 80s, some from the 70s, maybe even sooner, because I really appreciate scents like that. I grew up around fragrances like that. And while some people see that as, yeah, that smells like my father, grandfather, uncle, and I don't want anything to do with it, I'm a little bit of the opposite. I actually adore those fragrances because they're some of my earliest memories of scent at all. It's some of the earliest things I remember smelling were fragrances similar to this one on my grandfather. So I have a great appreciation for fragrances like this. But that's the only reason I bought this. This is more of a collector piece. I'm not going to wear it much. If I do wear it, it's going to be to the barbershop, which is what I wore this for the last time. Also just to kind of have my own experience with it. This is a classic Chypre-like barbershop scent. It's got the mossy elements. It's got the spice. This one actually has notes like civet in it, so some people perceive it to be a little bit sweaty. It's got caraway, which is similar to cumin, so it's got that funkiness to it. I adore fragrances like that, but most people are not going to care. It's going to have its admirers, which is why you can still buy it. But for most folks, yeah, get that out of my face. Once again, from YSL, this is Kouros. All right, next one's coming from Hugo Boss. This is Boss Bottled Absolu. Hugo Boss Bottled Absolu. Now, not a release from this year, but a release from last year, and one of the most popular releases within the community from last year. Excellent designer release, in my opinion. Takes that Boss Bottled DNA, gives it a much richer feel that's not just, ridiculously sweet or even iris dominant as, was popular for a while with designers. This one makes good use of like resins, like myrrh, which I love myrrh, in fragrances. Gives it kind of this incensey, earthy feel while still smelling like a good Boss Bottled fragrance, which I actually like a lot of the Boss bottles. I don't feel like I need to own all of them, but I really like what they do with their scents. But a lot of the releases have been redundant, can't deny that. But this one here, I think, gives a characteristic to that Boss Bottled DNA that we have not had yet. And I think it is excellent, and it smells great. Perfect for this upcoming fall season also, if you're looking into it, because it's readily available on discounters now for pretty good prices, in my opinion. So once again, from Hugo Boss, this is Boss Bottled Absolu. All right, this next one is going to be coming from Get Right Fragrances, and we have got Berry Oud. Get Right Fragrances, Berry Oud. So this one here, look, the name is quite accurate. You get berry-like fruitiness, and you get a very wearable oud-like woodiness, with a little bit of sweetness and a little bit of spice mixed in there. This one has kind of a strawberry kind of thing going on. And usually when you think strawberry, you think women's scents. Now, I'm sure women can let me just change that. Women can absolutely pull this off. Women can wear this, but to me, this does come across like a masculine fragrance. So strawberry note in a fragrance that comes across as masculine is not something that is done a lot. So that's a rarity in my opinion. And the oud here, as I already stated, it's relatively wearable, kind of westernized oud. So, you know, you don't have to worry about any funkiness, nice woodiness to this. Good amount of sweetness, not overly sweet, doesn't come across as juvenile, and the fruitiness in here kind of comes across like a strawberry milkshake in a weird kind of way to me, to my nose at least. I'm not saying everybody's necessarily going to agree with that, but this fragrance is excellent. Awesome release from the house, perfect wear for the upcoming fall season. I think you could easily get compliments with this, and you can get a lot of use out of it as well. Once again, from Get Right Fragrances, this is Berry Oud. All right, guys, the last fragrance is the one that has not even been opened yet. It was sent to me from the owner of luxperfume.com, which is somebody I do have an affiliate link with, as well as a discount code. This is a newer online store that is building up its inventory to give you guys more options at affordable prices, as well as, you know, be competitive in that marketplace. We got some great discounters that are coming onto the scene. So I think that's a good thing for people to get into that game, and may the best man win. All right, so here's the fragrance here. It's Barara King. I don't know too much about it, but I have done a little bit of research on it, and it does seem like it's similar to something, which I'll say if that is the case when I open it. I'm just gonna pop, I already kind of started it so I don't have to fight with it, because I want to be quick. I don't want this video to go too long. And my first impression of this is going to be very fast. I'm not going to go into extensive detail because, again, I don't want the video to be long. Oh, okay, cool presentation, though. Okay, so this kind of pops open like that. That is dope. Oh, and look at that. There's a travel stick in there. I didn't even know I was getting all that. All right, let me yank this out. What is that? Complimentary refillable empty atomizer. Okay, so it's empty, but you can refill it and use it for travel yourself. All right, that's dope. I'll give them credit for that. So yeah, that's a nice little travel atomizer. Obviously, you can use that for whatever. All right, get the box out of here. Here's the bottle real quick, because again, I'm just trying to be quick. I don't want this to go on forever. You know, pretty solid filling bottle. Is it magnetic? No, it's just a heavy cap that fits into place. Let me get a strip. Can I smell anything? Yeah, a little bit. Get on there. Okay, it's fruity and it's sweet. It's a fruity, sweet fragrance. Quality-wise, I mean, yeah, it's too early. You know, I'm smelling it from a strip. Okay, so I will admit, I have seen many people compare this to Xerjoff's Herba Pura. I could say that it's adjacent to it. I don't think it's a one-to-one. I think it's just the same style, because it does have that kind of bright, zingy, festive, fruity nature to it. Definitely has a sweetness. I get a little bit of a booziness from Herba Pura. I don't really get any booziness from this. And also, I don't find this to be as like vibrant and sweet as Herba Pura. It's actually a little bit tamed down, but there's no denying it. It smells very similar to Herba Pura. I think it's just an alternative to it. But I mean, it doesn't smell bad at all. You know, I don't necessarily wear fragrances like this a ton, but I will definitely check this one out at some point just to see how it wears and compares, and maybe give you guys a little bit more of a breakdown. That's what this fragrance is. This is my latest edition. It was sent to me. This is the one I've gotten last within Q3. So once again, from Barara, which I assume I'm saying that right, this is King. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for this video. If you would like to, let me know down in the comments below what your latest additions to your collection have been and how have they been working out for you. Would love to see what you guys have to say. Thanks again for watching all the way into the end. I really do appreciate you all. Please remember to be well and smell well, and I will see you in the next episode of The Fragrance Well. Have a good one.